This is my first vlog in quite a while. This is a pretty big one to make. Initially, I had all these plans about how I was gonna do it, how I would tell you guys. Now that I'm here, now that I know I have to say it, it's kind of hard to say it. I'm trying to look for the right words because it's such a big change, and I'm guessing that most of you can at least make an educated guess based on some of the background here. Maybe it was the plant or wildlife that gave it away, but I moved to Vegas. Or not to just like drop a bomb on you and then go, but I gotta get running, so be back with you in a sec. See, I'm considering this one big vlog. The next one's gonna have a kind of major announcement. This one, we're gonna talk about some hands that I did play quite a bit ago on Poker Out Loud, and it's hard. It's a lot harder than you'd think probably, and I just wanted to display those hands here for those who missed the live stream way back when. I think it was January, way before pandemic, so no masks, no barriers, and figured that might be a fun little thing to kick off with since that was here in Vegas when I was visiting back then. Go easy on me, because for real, this format is so hard. So yeah, without further ado, here in sunny Las Vegas, just out for a little while, came for 4 days of School of Cards live classes, but now I am here for just a few days, mostly chilling. Mickey's out here too. We've mostly just been out here having a little bit of a vacation, apartment hunting. Let that sink in for a few seconds. But I also got last minute notice that I am gonna be playing on a streamed 1-3 game today. Not what I was expecting the last day of my trip to be, but pretty pumped about it. The first 3 hours are gonna be pretty typical of just a normal stream game, but the last 2 hours will be the Poker Out Loud format. We'll be talking our thought process in real time, playing against other players who have to talk about their thought process in real time, and trying not to
And we are going at it. First hand of 1-3, $500 cap, no limit, Texas Hold'em.
Specific. Like, I'm sure it's not go drink a frappuccino.
Right.
It's something else to that.
Can't be true. All that sugar.
Well, got silent for the first 3 bets.
We got the little like think for a second, or it's like, okay, it's coming. All right.
Well, Matt's showing you, Berkey.
Yeah,
Nice little 3-bet in position.
I like this.
Can happen.
Of course, very different than last hand.
Ooh, spicy.
I just stick to my daily.
KG out of the small blind will cold call.
About it.
And the pooch.
Not
The
anymore.
pooch
no,
goes
those
down.
were- Those
The
were-
original
those were
razor.
awesome
Yeah, it's a pretty
as a
tough
kid.
spot for King Jack. Pretty clear fold.
So Matt does
I was just
flop
watching
a
the
3 straight
Poker Out
flush
Loud
draw.
student thing.
Really good for
Is it-
him,
and
given the
almost
scenario. King high
Now
board's
you know
just
exactly what
Yeah.
to do.
No, I have no
huge
idea.
favorite for the 3-better. I don't think like small blind's gonna cold call too much King X type hand.
Where do you use the bet?
I like this. Should peel once.
Call.
KG obliges.
Ooh, that's bad for
Ooh.
Matt.
Check.
I mean, he can go off.
Yeah, so that king makes it a lot harder for Matt to have a king.
Right. And now the rest of his hands don't really want to value bet.
Totally.
So like once you start betting here, it's just king or nothing.
And with that 10, I feel like it's hard for KG or Matt to really do anything here.
Yeah, I think KG just check calls pretty much always.
Sure. Wow, goes for the lead.
That's very small.
Small.
Yeah.
If you're Matt, is there ever any raises here?
Yeah, for sure. I think like 10's full. I think that you could get thin with like even aces because you bet 1/7 of the pot. You could just make it 100 and fold if he shoves, kind of thing.
Sure, yeah.
I know what Berkey would have done. He would have kept betting.
Not true, Matt. I too would have shut it down here. People were scared. People were conservative.
10 is the bet.
I don't know what I'm doing with my 1.8 sizes, but you know.
You really don't have to.
I have like middle pair. This is legit what happens sometimes. I have middle pair, 1.8 it, and they call with like bottom pair.
Sure.
And it's just like
Value
well,
bluffing.
I guess this just works.
Yeah, value bluffing.
I don't even have to
obviously.
worry about it.
I mean, here's the thing. You don't need to know what you're doing for 1.8. They need to know what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm keeping them guessing. They just don't know what's going on.
When they call it bottom pair and see middle pair, they're just like, well, he doesn't know what he's doing for 1.8 anymore.
But I bet 80% they're like, oh, okay.
Right.
I've seen this before.
Yep, sure.
Cool. Check.
Interesting that Matt is the one that Matt Hunt. I'm sorry, is
Yeah.
the one that that bet this flop. Of course, has the worst hand. He is in position, of course. And Matt Vaughan is going to pick up his 2 pair on the river.
Yeah, I think this actually played out the way it should. Despite the fact that 4s doesn't have much removal effect, when check 2, he just kind of gets to win a lot. And then when called, he should expect to see a queen.
Sure, yeah.
50 is the bet.
This is like a weird river spot for Vaughan, though, because it's unlikely that anybody's going to have a call, but Hunt could have Jack 10.
Sure, yeah. So what do you think of that bet sizing then because of that?
I think it's fine because he's just kind of resigned to folding to a raise, I guess. I think like when you choose those like really large sizings with what would be the worst hand you could pick that size with, it's okay because when you face resistance, it's now just like, okay, I'm done. Yeah.
You guys have played this game before. Wasn't expecting it.
My wife asked me who would be here. I was like, that's usually a couple like run it up, like fans from the chat, a couple good players. And then Derek texted me like, that's the Solve for Y group. All right, never mind.
Well, I'm glad you went like, yes, it's the Solve
Yeah,
for Y
right,
guys.
yeah.
I mean, he's trying to be respectful.
Yeah.
So it looks like Conrad the dealer did not shuffle the deck. Matt Vaughan gets ace queen again, raises it up. KG
I didn't know the lineup at all, so
calls.
I probably should
One
have
mana
showed
calls. 3 ways to a flop. And almost a little bit for everyone.
I'm interested to see how Brian navigates this. He's been pretty, what I would consider to be loose passive thus far, and I expect the trend to continue on a hand like this. These are miserable spots for hands like Jack 10. They're almost better served as a semi-bluff.
To raise here, you're saying?
Yeah. You block the queen, you have showdown value with the 10, you have 3 to a straight.
Yeah, you picked up the equity here. Now a 9 will give him a straight, of course. 10 Jack will win him.
Yeah, the real incentive is you just put like better 10x in the cage.
Sure.
Obviously, like Queen X isn't ever really folding. This is a good identification by Matt.
45 is the bet.
He just gets a lot of value on this turn 8. There's so much Jack X in Brian's range that can't fold.
Does not get there. So does Matt fire his 3rd bullet here?
I expect to see something around half pot. I think if he goes any bigger, he's putting himself in a scenario where he can't really get called.
Goldie, just like crying about not being here.
Wonder if that's a thing.
We're just waiting.
Obviously gets value out of so many different hands. A ton of things did.
He said he moved closer to the
I
strip.
mean, King Jack missed, of course.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah. Jack 10 is just like the
that's
worst
right,
bluff catching candidate at this
Yeah.
point. So you block Ace Jack, King Jack. These are the hands that you really expect to see bluffs come from.
Oh, he's going big. Is he?
Actually,
yeah,
he's
went
moved a
big.
lot.
Went almost pot.
He's been like
Yeah, I think this is kind of a mistake. You don't have a ton of bluffs on this end, on the river here.
How disappointed would you be if he calls here?
Very. Extreme. I mean, I think his call pre-flop is like pretty loose. And I think turn is like close. No, put it down. But yeah, on river, it's like the real reason why Matt shouldn't go so big with ace queen specifically. Like aces makes a little bit more sense because your opponent can have a queen.
Sure.
It's just so unlikely that you're up against a queen. You're like targeting 10x, 8-9. I guess there isn't a lot of 8-9, but you know, really weak one pair hands, and they just can't hold on for a pot.
Could have been a cool spot to
Nice little win from Matt, though.
talk out loud and not have your opponent.
Definitely makes sense, Matt.
Hear you.
Yeah.
What you're saying.
Just talk through your own thoughts.
I'll just call you Berkey from now on.
I was gonna say.
And you would know how unsophisticated my
I
thought
almost
process
replied
was
with
in
thanks,
that
Matt.
Matt, who you card?
No. I thought we were going to get it.
Are they good yet?
We'll get a next iteration.
Okay.
Good.
No, it's fine. 8. Raise 35.
So we got a little Jack Link's beef jerky hand going in here.
Oh, he's gonna get spicy.
Call.
Matt on Matt action.
I would bet he has king queen,
That would,
which is very bad for him, right?
yeah, not be great.
Pretty much all of the hands that Hunt has right now are very bad for him. It's gonna be king queen, ace king,
Okay.
kings, and queens. I don't think he would flat with aces.
And he's always continuing.
He could have quad jacks,
He could.
which would be nice, and he could have king queen of diamonds, which gives him 2 outs.
But I don't know if he has jacks necessarily and just calls pre-flop.
I think when you face a small blind 3-bet, you're more inclined to call with most everything instead of 4-betting.
Man, these kids these days are so loose in their small blind.
No, it's not that they're loose; they just love to either 3-bet or fold.
Yeah. It's always, oh, that's true. So you keep in a lot of the ace fives,
Yeah.
ace fours.
Yeah.
Right.
Could Matt have the lone remaining combination of Jack 10 suited? No. It's all downhill from here. He is not going to stop either. This
Oh,
is
no.
so clear king queen to me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he definitely has king queen. So he's setting up for about a 2/3 pot river shove, which actually leans me to believe a little bit more that he has value. So I guess ace jack suited is a possibility.
Call.
You know it's going to be an ace river. Just completing whatever Matt has.
Well, I like that idea.
Oh,
Ooh.
well, that is spicy. So now his tens full get counterfeit to just a single jack.
Yeah. And I don't know that Hunt would have went. I'm trying to think if he would go bet with king queen. I think he has to. It's definitely the bottom of his range. There's some small likelihood he has 8-9 of diamonds, which would be very unfortunate. But I don't think that hand bets the turn either. So I really do think that he either has king queen or jacks full. It looks like it's gonna be king queen.
King, queen.
Ace
Ace
queen.
queen.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So hard to blast there, obviously.
Yeah. And the ace queen makes sense because the turn gives him a double gutty.
A good give up, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was a
I don't think he
spicy,
pulled that.
No,
fun
probably
hand.
not.
I think if the turn was like a 7, he probably just shuts down.
And like the river,
Well,
well,
I mean,
hard to
it's-
pull my exact hand.
It's weird because by the time we get to that river, your hand is the same as kings, basically.
right.
So
At least I block Jack 10.
yeah, that's true.
That's really
You block one combo.
like the
it's
only
like,
good thing for me, but
And there were 8 seasons of it. So I finally get to the end, only to find out that the final season is currently on ABC, won't start refilming or rebroadcasting until April, and they pulled it off Netflix.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you get.
I feel
that
so
messed me
punished,
up, man.
That's
but
what you
Scared
get.
the
almost blessed
shit out
that
of
I'll
me
never watch
every
this final
episode.
season.
Holy
good.
shit.
Is there
Yeah.
I don't care how
Got
it's like-
absolutely
It was a
punished.
dramatization,
Yeah.
but it was based on
Oh,
real
yeah.
events.
It
I
was
watched
so
maybe like
bad.
2/3 of that. It was
That-
good, but man,
serious,
it's
that's-
difficult. to
last-
watch.
That shit was
Last-
hard to watch, man.
The last episode was so good.
I didn't get to the last one.
So good.
It's hard when you know how brutal it's going to be going in. Like,
Hard for action to really.
It was.
yeah.
However brutal you think it's going to be,
Start
it gets
up here.
worse towards the end. Like,
Yeah,
it's
they-
horrifying.
Yep.
Vaughn can probably just stab and win at that point. I mean, that's a good river.
Yeah. No, ace high is
Brian
good
should bluff.
a lot of the time.
Yeah. It's annoying, but like he kind of has to bluff. He could bet small, like 15. Even
If you
12
guys haven't
12
watched The
is fine.
Magician,
20 is the bet.
probably
This is probably a little bit too
top 2 of my
big.
favorite shows ever.
Actually, maybe not.
Magicians, you said?
yeah,
he
it's
might
so
be-
good.
He has pretty bad taste.
Could have an
on
8
it.
here.
I mean,
Yeah, and he probably doesn't have a ton of bluffs. Like,
Yeah.
he probably doesn't have much worse
Magician's
than
so
6
good.
high.
Feels like
It's just annoying because like ace high calls like
Bored.
up to 3x pot. So it's like,
Well,
if you're
pretty
gonna
sure
choose
I'm not
20, you should
holding.
probably choose 50.
Yeah. Just 1.8.
Yeah,
you
see,
ever
that's
watch The
that's
Magician?
the spot to
Watch, like,
1.8,
the
Yeah.
first
where you just make
2 or
somebody
3
feel stupid
seasons.
if
How
they
many
call
seasons
or
are there
fold
now?
ace high. So
We
in
can
some way,
trust
shape,
you.
or form, yeah, in some way, shape, or form, we need to be close enough to you to say that.
Yeah. Trust is a big factor in you coming and playing in these games. Completely would have you if I trust you.
Right.
And that's why Soto's on the fence right now.
You took my joke.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, it's good.
Wizards and Knicks game on Monday. Yes.
Who are the Wizards? Who are the Knicks, actually?
No. It's not like that. We're going to do something like Shark Tank. Or
Oh,
Shark Cage.
Yes,
Shark
yes,
Cage.
I like this.
Um,
To
yeah.
get banished.
Kristalina is the one that wrote the show.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know everything about it, but I know they're putting a lot of time into it. I heard the words, "Hey, Randall, did you get that bear trap?" Saw that, and then saw a picture.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of a hand being closed by the bear trap.
But not a real one.
No. A real one.
No, like you'll lose your hand in a real one.
I recognize that. How they're going to implement this, I have no clue.
Hey, Slow, you still want to play on stream? Like, relax. This is a good bluff line by Hunt. It's not gonna work. It'd be interesting to see if Matt Vaughn chooses to raise. He actually has a hand that viably could as a bluff.
Raise.
Not yeah.
Bye bye. You know, Matt's not one to go down peacefully. That's for sure. He likes to fight in there. He's, if you look at someone that's always calling all these river spots, I think Matt's in there.
Yeah, that's true. It's so jacked up. And they have the first thing we do, they have this like it's like a dodgeball game. So it's set up like dodgeball. It's actually set up like paintball. Like there are obstacles and stuff. You play team versus team, but it's dodgeball and you use paint guns, but they have tennis balls in them.
Well, okay.
So like you're just shooting at each other. If
Yeah.
you get hit, you're out.
That's fun.
I'm rolling around, like trying to duck for cover, come out of there hobbled, and then the next thing I do is like this American Ninja Warrior course.
Jesus, dude.
Woke up feeling great.
Check.
You're a madman.
12 is the bet.
Tough spot for Matt here. He does have a 3 flush, though,
Call swell.
and 2 overs. That seemed
Yeah.
very reasonable at the time.
Yep, can't give up that easily.
Ooh, that is a tough card to continue anything on, though.
Pretty easy spot for Hunt to just be checking back, even
Totally.
though it's unlikely that Vaughn ever has a full house. The hopes are that you can induce a hand like King Jack to just like bet pot here.
Yeah.
I think these boards go like wildly underbluffed because they're the type of board textures where we as humans can get as close to a solver response as humanly possible because it's just so apparent to us the way the hand categories break down.
3 is the bet.
Wow, interesting. So, the ace high does go for a $33 bet. Now, you were saying pot size bet. I know you were saying it from Matt's point
From
of
Matt's point of view, just because he has like so many available bluffs and
view. Totally.
his value is just full houses.
Totally.
For Hunt, he could bet a lot of things here.
I actually love this sizing against this player in particular because we know Matt is just so sticky on these river spots.
Yeah, he's kind of shown a propensity to call pretty lightly.
And if he was willing to call on the flop, you
Right.
know he has one of these high cards.
Right, and that's the thing is that like if he had called with Queen Jack of Hearts, he may feel inclined to bluff this river.
Totally.
Okay.
If he had called with like Jack 10, whatever, those hands are going to bluff. So King Jack is like the borderline where it's like, okay, well, I'm never going to be bluffing this hand, so now I have to start finding some calls. Good fold, though.
Nice.
I say.
Discipline. Matt the Broken Berkey to break down literally everything that's going on. Is it good? Is it bad? Should we be doing this? Is Christian Soto ever going to come back?
Calls.
The gamut.
You're going to hear a lot less talk out of me, especially if these types of hands just continue.
I would love a Poker Out Loud session where you're commentating and you're just berating Christian Soto.
He's not even at the table.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
You know,
I mean, maybe Chin would do this.
Chin has the audacity to say things like, oh, the best two players are losing all the money. The audacity.
What I want to know is who he was talking about. It was
the
season
other
one. He was buried, but to my knowledge, no one else was losing.
Millionaire, or was that the right amount?
That's the right amount.
Okay, I just want to. You don't need to tell me the truth, man.
That is the truth.
You know, Chin was probably thinking like his student was the other best player.
Right.
You were there, but you're third.
I assume he had to be talking about Nick Howard at that point, but I think Nick was crushing. Okay, this is getting a little spicy.
Sure.
So, something that I would like to mention very quickly, since this spot's going to come up, we're going to see a down bet here out of Kevin, I imagine. Something in the neighborhood of 70.
Whoa,
Too big. Don't like this.
mucho.
Don't like this. So now Matt's just going to get the fold.
Yeah,
That's fine.
especially with a cap here.
Just set
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah, he just bet, you know,
That's a little
2/5
too much.
of
We'll
Matt's
go with the
stack.
larger sizing on this board.
But I like it. Like, KG really does mix it up here.
Yeah, no. In a single raise pot, I actually think this sizing is completely reasonable because bluff catchers are going to have to peel one. Like, you know, jacks can't suddenly just start folding, but they have to fold now facing this size in a 3-bet pot. What the point I was going to try to make is Matt has a hand that wants to peel because A, it's semi-strong from a showdown value perspective, and B, it has the ace of spades.
Yeah.
So had Kevin chosen something like 70, we very often would see Matt like check call. And I think in 3-bet pots, or in this situation, a 4-bet pot even more so, it's a huge error.
Just,
Because
fuck
what
yourself
ultimately
doing the wrong
happens
thing
is
last time,
ace
and,
queen
like,
in a
talking
4-bet
myself
pot
in,
now
you know,
is
it's
bottom
just-
of range.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't really have worse hands. And you're just going to have ace queen of
Sometimes
spades
he's like
that will be
SPR or
peeling
whatever.
for the spade to actually make
Sure.
flushes and
Sure,
things
sure,
like
sure.
that. You know, generally speaking, like when he peels a hand like that and even turns gin with like a 5 of spades,
Well,
you just don't get
much
to
more
do anything
difficult.
about it. So you land on the river with
This
a
you
bluffing
just take more money
candidate that isn't necessary.
Got it. Got it. So what do you think Matt's thinking about here? Like,
very
is he
convincing. It really
like,
feels like
in
you want me
leveling
to
wars
call.
right now with KG, where it's like,
All right,
I'm
fine.
honestly, I don't know. The only thing I think he could be thinking is like, why would aces or ace king bet this large?
yeah, that's what I would be thinking. I would just say, oh, Ace King never bets this.
Right, but like with the ace of spades in your hand, you're just like so happy to fold.
Totally.
You're just like,
Yeah,
okay, well,
yeah. That makes sense. Berkey, you know all the little tricks, you know?
I mean,
All the little tiny things.
nobody looks for a reason to call more than me.
I think my soul just died a little inside. I can't.
I
No,
knew he was gonna go.
Not
for it.
like this.
That makes the $80 bet way better. Like if your opponent can have bluff raises
Sure.
and just give you a chance to
That
open it up and
is
rip.
insane in the membrane. Guys, this is our last hand of standard run it up live play. Don't go anywhere though. We are still going into the Poker Out Loud session for the next 2 hours. These guys will be earbutted up so they can't hear anything. Every single time it's their action, they're going to be able to talk about their process.
Man,
Now-
I love these comments. Bosky said, things players will never try in a normal 1-3 game by solve for why. And I love it because like it's the majority of the pushback that we get. We have 2 professional poker players at this table,
Uh-huh.
I think. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Almost
3.
Three, sorry. But Brian
least.
is not Does Pooch play full time? No, he works for you guys.
He
right?
used to.
Right,
play full
but
time.
like I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
like same with Brian. He used to too.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
These guys all play like as secondary income now. It's like the issue is like this stuff is happening in your games. You just don't know,
Sure, yeah, yeah.
right?
yeah.
You just don't see it,
Yeah, because you don't know what the cards are.
right? Either
It's
like
insaneness.
it's like people go hard all the time. It's just it results in a fold and the cards never get shown down.
Very fun card here.
Sure.
The 9 allows Daniel to really continue. Put on
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. Blind versus blind is so tricky.
It is.
I actually kind of like check raising his hand.
Oh, just checks back.
I like the check back by Matt a lot.
Okay.
For exactly that reason. I think Daniel has like a pretty robust check raising range here. I mean, he just has a hand to go for it. I think betting something in the neighborhood of 80 to full pot is pretty good with Daniel's hand. And then Matt's just going to be resigned to calling with no kicker.
Looks like a big bet.
Yep, this is
110.
good. Auto call.
Call.
Well played by both.
Yep.
Says king
I don't know why this is the funniest comment I've read all day, but after the pooch hand, somebody just typed in sad pooch. And something about like
It's not just someone. It's James the Bear, okay?
My
you got to
apologies.
give James the
My
Bear
apologies.
credit. He's been around forever.
You're right. I apologize.
Yeah,
But something about pooch being so close to hooch or cooch to me, and it just being sad.
All
and
right,
frowny.
all right, Berkey. Here's the chip counts for you right now. Remember, Matt Hunt did rebuy, so he's not actually number one. KG, the one walking away with the most money. But we are not done just yet. Jimmy Capucci, oh my goodness, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. I feel for you, Jimmy. All right, we're going to kick it off to exactly what we're going to be playing next. Check it out. It's Soft Live.